Melissa from Melissa's Creations, and I am so excited to bring you this really adorable and fun card. One of my favorite color combinations is like a purpley pink color with gray, and I think that our Sweet Sugar Plum, Flirty Flamingo, and Smoky Slate accent each other so beautifully on this fun and easy card. Let's get started making this a swirly bird inspired card. All right, we're starting out with the standard card base. This measures 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm just going to fold it in half and crease the middle with my bone folder. I also have a couple scrap pieces of Whisper White cardstock. Now, the measurements may vary depending on what sentiment you use, but my piece is about 1/2 inch by 1.5 inches. And we're also going to need another scrap of Whisper White cardstock to cut out our swirly scribble. So we're going to start with some stamping on our larger scrap piece. And the inks I am using again are Smoky Slate, Sweet Sugar Plum, and Flirty Flamingo. And I am using the Swirly Bird stamp set along with the Swirly Scribbles Thinlits dies. And the die that I'm using today, we're using this large piece here as well as these 2 floral circles and the 2 leaves. All right, we're gonna grab our small piece for our sentiment, and today for that I am using my Climbing Orchid stamp set because I just think this little hello is too adorable. So we are using that stamp today for our sentiment. So I'm gonna mount that up and I'm stamping it in Smoky Slate, and I'm gonna stamp that off to the right. Just like that. All right, we're going to start with our leaves. So I'm going to use my Smoky Slate, and on that scrap paper, I'm going to stamp 2 large leaves and 2 small leaves. I'm also going to mount up the inside of the leaves, and I'm going to stamp those right over the top in the same color. While I have that Smoky Slate out, I'm going to mount up this fun splatter background, and I'm going to stamp that right onto the front of my card. So we're just going to do a few splatters in random order, kind of off to the middle left of the card, and we just kind of want it to go in like a semicircle because we're going to have a frame right over the top. I think I might actually just put a little bit more right in the middle there. All right, now it's time to stamp some of those gorgeous little flowers on our scrap piece. So I'm going to open up my Flirty Flamingo and my Sweet Sugar Plum. And I think I want 1 large of the Flirty Flamingo and a small Flirty Flamingo. You want a total of 3 little flowers. And I'm going to do 1 large flower in Sweet Sugar Plum. All right, so I'm going to bring in the big shot now. I have my magnetic platform here, and I'm going to put down my scrap piece for my swirly scribble. Now you don't need an entire scribble. We're just looking for, I don't know, about 1/2 to 3/4 of the scribble. So I'm going to put that on there just like this. I am going to cut out these pieces as well with my little framelit dies here. So we'll just get some of those mounted up. And you may or may not be able to cut out multiple flowers depending on how close you stamp. So I'm going to do that little one in a minute. We'll go ahead and put on for our leaves 1 there and 1 there. And we're going to run those through. And we're also going to use a piece of Smoky Slate cardstock with our Stitched Shapes Framelits dies. And we are using two of these squares. We're going to use the second largest and the smallest. So I'm just going to put those right onto my cardstock, and as best as I can, just center those frames together and then run that through. Okay, bring in our die brush and foam mat to get those beautiful little pieces out of our die here, and to loosen up our main element. There we go. All right, we're going to take our snips and we're just going to very slightly round off two of those corners on our sentiment. And then we're just going to trim a little bit more off. Now to start assembling, the first thing I'm going to do is take a few dimensionals and put them on the back of my frame. And we're just going to pop one in each corner. Okay, and then we're going to peel off those backings and get that on our card. We're going to put that right down here. Then we're going to take some of our fine tip glue, take that cap off. We're just going to put a few little dowels here and there on the back of our swirly bird swirl. And then we're going to slide that in and under our frame. And I'm just going to take an acrylic block and set that down on that swirly bird piece just for a few minutes so that it can adhere. While that is working, I am going to take a little bit of fast fuse on the back of my sentiment. And I'm gonna trim a little bit more of that off. And then I'm gonna slide that in now. We'll put it right there. And I'm gonna use some glue dots to start adhering my flowers down. So I'm just gonna load those up onto my roll of mini glue dots. So I'm going to start with my large pink flower, and I'm going to put that right here kind of in the corner of my card. And then with my large purple flower, I'm going to overlap that slightly up here and put the small pink flower just barely tucked behind on the main portion of my card. And then I'm going to take those leaves and I'm just going to tuck them here and there around my flowers. And I'm grouping a small leaf with a large leaf. Okay, I think we can move that block now. I'm going to turn this upside down so that I can put these leaves on. One there and one there. It's coming together very nicely. There's just one last finishing touch to make, and that is to add some beautiful rhinestones, little bling bling to our card. So I'm going to pick up a large one and put that down here. We'll get a teeny tiny small one, put that on our frame off to the side there. And then we'll do a medium right over down here. All right, creators, there we go, our really cute swirly bird inspired card. I hope you enjoyed this video today. It's one of my very favorite cards, I do have to say. I love this card so much. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you did enjoy it, please give the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button to be notified of future videos, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of this card today. Do you have the Swirly Bird stamp set and coordinating Thinlits dies? If not, did I change your mind about getting it? It certainly is a versatile set. You can visit me online at melissascreations.com. While you're there, click on the Shop Now button and shop to your heart's content. Your support means the world to me and allows me to continue doing what I love, which is bringing out videos for you to enjoy. You can also follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/mcreations, as well as Instagram and Twitter with the handle @mcreations. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.